Hello everyone, welcome to Puff Time, time where I sit down, smoke a cigarette, and talk about what's going on in my mind. So in tonight's Puff Time, we are going to talk a little bit about pressure. I don't know what that was, I'm sorry. Just felt like doing it. I'm probably going to cut it out, because it was dumb. Now, I'm no expert. And, I mean, we've clarified this. If you've watched any of my other Puff Times, you would know I'm not an expert. I like this chair, by the way. In no way am I a professional or do I really know terms for things. But there's 3 types of pressure I want to talk about in this video. The first, well, there may be more. These may not even be types of pressure. I know one of them is for sure. But these may not even be types of pressure. And there may be more, you know? So, again, I'm no professional. I didn't really research this topic. I just want to make it more personal because I want to talk about pressure from my point of view, not from like a professional's point of view, if that makes sense. So, the first type of pressure I want to touch on is social pressure or society pressure. This can be people you don't know, or it can be people you know. But society as a whole, pressure from society. Now, I know a lot of you know what this is, or have experienced some of this society pressure. But some of you may be like, what are you talking about, society pressure? What do you mean? Well, what I mean is, look around you. Look at the type of world that we live in. It says a lot about our, the way we live. There is pressure from society to be a certain way. Now, society tells you to be yourself, to have a sense of individuality, not to be like other people, to have your own unique, original thing, personality, I guess, persona, reputation. But when you do express how you are, or your true self, or your personality, or you express what you like or what you don't like, if you express these things, society will also tell you, no, don't do that, that's weird, that's wrong, that's stupid. So it's like we can't please society. Society is a very confusing thing. It changes a lot. You can look back through history to see how society changes. You know, back in the day, it was more socially acceptable to be a certain way, to dress a certain way, to think a certain way, to act a certain way. Now, you know, things have changed. People are still ignorant, but they're ignorant towards different things. But there's always ignorance in the world. So, society pressure is difficult because if we get so wrapped up in society pressure, we're going to think we need to be a certain way in order to please society, which in retrospect, that was the wrong word. In reality, why should we have to please society? Why should we have to be appealing to society? Why should we have to conform to society? I did a video a while ago on society. It was a spoken word video, though. It wasn't a Puff Time video. And I'll have an annotation somewhere around here, this vicinity. There will be an annotation to that if you would like to go listen. That's me talking directly to society, sort of. But basically in that video I stress that society needs to stop. Society needs to stop trying to make people into what they want them to be. If you look around in the media, in magazines, in the news, and on blogs and stuff like that, society tells us we have to look a certain way or be a certain way to be acceptable in the world. They say that our weight defines us, that our smarts define us, that our talent defines us, when in reality, we don't have to be defined by a number. That doesn't matter. Just because I'm not as smart as somebody over here doesn't mean that I'm any less of a person, and just because they're smarter than me doesn't make them any more of a person, just like everything else. We're not carbon copies of each other. We're all different, but we're all the same, if that makes sense. But yeah, under our exterior appearance, we've all got the same organs, we've all got skeletons, we've all got emotions, we've all got things that are inside that are similar to other people. We all have skeletons in our closets too. We all have a past. Our past does not define us, but it's there. It's part of us. So, society is going to tell us we have to be a certain way. It's going to pressure you into thinking that you need to look a certain way, or present yourself a certain way, or think a certain way, act a certain way. When in reality, you just do you. You be you. You be whoever the hell it is you are. And that's okay. It's not, you don't have to be a certain way, or you don't have to think a certain way, or look a certain way in order to please society, because who really gives a shit? We all really give a shit. But seriously, it's time to stop trying to be something just because society wants you to be that way. It's time to stop. Because you're your own person. You can be whoever you want to be. It's okay. And another thing I want to stress is it's okay to change. We are constantly changing. It's a constant thing. So it's okay. It's okay to change. We do that. Sometimes we have to filter, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we choose not to. But the point is, you don't have to be just like somebody else in order to fit into society. Who cares about fitting in? We don't have to fit in. I don't know who established that thought, or who started that trend of having to fit in, but you don't have to fit in. You don't have to. You can be whoever you want to be, think however you want to think. If somebody's got a problem with that, then that's their own deal. You shouldn't change yourself just because somebody has a problem with how you are. So that's kind of society pressure. Now, of course, I could probably make a whole video talking about society pressure, but I do want to hit the 3 points in this one video. The second type of pressure is parental pressure, or family pressure. If you live with somebody other than your parents, but it's like family pressure, family values. This can range from you have to have the same religion as your family, or you have to go to college just like your family, or you have to work a good job just like your family, or you have to have the same values and morals as your family. Because as children, we're raised by our parents or by our guardians to be a certain way. Sometimes parents live vicariously through their children, because they didn't get to do the things that we can do now, or they didn't, live a certain way. A lot of I can hear you from my house. I hope your Harley, the sound of your Harley makes up for the size of your dick. I lost my train of thought. Shit. Oh yeah, sometimes our guardians or parents will try and vicariously live through us because maybe they didn't go to college, but they wish they did. So what are they going to do? They're going to tell their kids, go to college! And then their kids are going to go to college, and then when they finish and get their degree, they're going to call up their parents or guardian and say, what do I do now? If you catch the reference, you have a great taste in movies and books. But it's like you can keep calling your parents, you can keep contacting your parents and ask them, what next, what next, what do you want me to do now, what do you want me to do now? And your parents are gonna, they have this, when they have you, now some parents are cool, some guardians are cool, and they let you fully express yourself, but sometimes they don't like you to express yourself. They want you to be their ideal, picture of the perfect, child or whatever. When we get older, we move from our childhood home to our adulthood home, metaphorically. I mean, we can, move out, yeah, but when we get to a certain age, we're going to stop having to ask somebody else to think for us or give us permission. I talked about this in a previous Puff Time about permission. But growing up, we're taught to think a certain way by our parents, by our guardians, by aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, relatives. Whoever takes care of you teaches you to think a certain way, gives you morals, your conscience, your this is good, this is bad. You're taught that when you're little, okay? When you get older, I believe in learning from experience. Now this doesn't mean, I want to experience the effects of meth. If you want to go that route, go ahead. But not that extreme. But I mean, if you want to experience something, even though your parents or guardians told you it's bad or it's not a good thing, it never ends good, but you want to do it, do it. You don't have to have permission from somebody else, especially parents, to do a certain thing. Now, if you're still living under their roof and they've got certain rules, there is a degree of respect. You should respect your elders, but you shouldn't have to change who you are for your elders, if that makes sense. So, parents are always going to have high expectations for their children. That's just how it is. You want your kids to be great, yeah, but you shouldn't have to pressure them into being a certain way just because they're not. So there's parental pressure. Again, like I said, I could make a whole video on each of these points, but I'm not going to do that unless asked. Now, the last one I want to touch on, I saved the most important for last because it's a huge, huge thing, is peer pressure. Now, I know a lot of you know what this is, but for those of you who are unsure, peer pressure is pressure from your friends, pressure from your peers, from people your age, people you hang out with. A lot of you, well, pretty much everyone's in school now, except those who do not go to school. But you're going to see a lot more of this peer pressure in school, or college, high school, middle school, even elementary school. It's going lower. I remember when I was in elementary school, it wasn't so much about peer pressure. We were just elementary school children, it wasn't a big deal. But now I've noticed a lot more elementary school students are suffering from peer pressure. We all individually have our own wants, needs, desires, things that we need for our own specific personality types. And if you hang out with a big group of people and they're all doing this one thing, but you have an uneasy feeling or you don't feel right about it, you don't have to do it. And sometimes people aren't understanding about this. Sometimes people are like, oh, come on, don't be a pussy, just do it. But some people are actually understanding of this fact. And it's if you feel uncomfortable, and if you can tell your friends that, then if they're understanding, then they won't make you do anything you don't want to do. But if you're surrounding yourself with the type of people who do make you do things, or who try to make you do things, you're probably in the wrong crowd. Just saying. Peer pressure is difficult because peer pressure is a lot different than parental and society pressure. Now, I think that peer pressure and society pressure can go hand in hand because a lot of other, people around your age are influenced by society pressure. But parental pressure might not be that big of a deal unless you are very sheltered and you've just been around your parents for most of your life, or your guardians. But parental pressure is not as much of a problem because a lot of us as, children, teenagers, young adults, we hit that point where we're I'm going to rebel. I don't want to listen to my parents anymore. So we don't have that hold on us as much. But some people still do. But the difference here with peer pressure is everybody's doing it. That's the thing. You're away from home. You're in a school environment with a lot of other people your age, and they're all doing something, and you don't want to feel like the oddball who's not doing something. Peer pressure can also come with people being like, well, why are you like so hung up about this? Just do it. Like, sure, there may be repercussions, but you should just do it. Like, stop being such a coward. Okay, well, first of all, like I stressed, we all have our own little quirks. You know, some of us may be more, insecure about things. Some of us may be more, timid or scared of certain things that other people aren't going to understand. A lot of this stems from, fear or anxiety or depression or anger or any of these emotions that some of us may be experiencing stronger than others. If you're depressed, you're going to get the society pressure and the peer pressure and the parental pressure of saying, just be happy, just smile, just stop feeling down. That is pressure. Okay. It may not seem like pressure to those of us who don't know what that is, like who haven't been to that point where everyone's telling them just get better. It's like you don't go to a cancer patient and tell them, hey, you tell your body to stop making those cancerous cells. Just drink some orange juice, you'll be good. No. Depression and anxiety and anger and fear can all go under terminal illness, in my book. If you are depressed, it's basically like a terminal illness. It's eating the inside of you alive. Same thing with anxiety. It just eats you up inside. And some people are anxious about different things, and we've got to understand that. Some people are anxious about talking in front of people, like big crowds, or even one-on-one with people they don't really know that well. They get anxious because they don't know the right words to say. They don't know how to present themselves. They don't know how to approach the person. Hell, I hate ordering food over the phone. Like pizza? I'm ordering that online. Okay, and when the guy gets to the door, the delivery guy, I want to make that process as fast as possible because I don't want to talk to him. Not that I have anything against the pizza delivery guy. It's just I don't do well under the pressure of having to hold a conversation. Because here's my thing. I just didn't end my sentence. I just cut myself off. That was weird. But here's my thing. Okay, I'm going to give an example because you know me, I like to give metaphors and examples and all kinds of things so we can relate. But it really helps illustrate the point I'm trying to make. Okay, say you're at a party, okay? I don't go to parties personally because I don't like parties. I don't party. I don't do the party thing. But say I'm at a party, okay, this is just a hypothetical, because can you guys imagine me at a party? I don't know what I would do. I would go in the corner and cry. But, my thing about parties is everything is so superficial. You can't hold a conversation with a person because people want to mingle. I'm better with one-on-ones, if I know you. If I don't know you, I'm probably not going to approach you. The only place I feel comfortable approaching people I don't know is at concerts. Now, a lot of you may wonder, why the fuck? How is a concert different than a... Don't even get me started on that, okay? Concerts are a place where I feel at home. I've made some of the best friends at concerts. Hell, I met my girlfriend at a concert. My thing is, I don't do well meeting people on the spot and, hey, how are you? Fine, good, yeah, that's great, What do we talk about? Small talk bothers me. I'm really bad at small talk, but my thing about it is it's so superficial. It just feels fake. It's all fake. So when I meet people for the first time and I don't really know them, it's just this superficial fake bullshit, I feel like. Now, that's not to say that everyone is going to be fake. That everyone's going to just ask how are you just because it's the thing to do. Sometimes you meet people for the first time and you click and you're easy to talk to them, they're easy with talking to you, and it's fine. But my thing is, it's hard to meet people that have those similar things with you. And so you just kind of stand there feeling awkward. So if I were to go to a party, which I don't, I would just feel really bad. Because everyone I talk to, I would feel like it was a fake conversation, and no one really gives a shit. We're just here to get fucked up. That's what parties are to me. Parties are just a gathering with people you don't really know, just so you can all get fucked up together and see who you trust in the morning. Who didn't steal your shit. But peer pressure, I'm kind of going all over the place. But my point is, peer pressure is going to be from people that are around you, that are of the same age, and they're going to make it seem more appealing because they're doing it, Everybody's doing it. Let's do it. And then they're not going to take into consideration your anxieties, your depression, your fear, your anger, because we all have these things that we're battling constantly, either inwardly or outwardly, and we're battling these things, and some people may not know of our struggles, so they're just going to put everything out there on a plate in front of you and tell you, just partake, just be in the moment, live in the moment, but not everyone is into living in the moment. Not everyone is about, live young, die fast. Not everyone is about that. Some people like to take life slower. Some people like to enjoy the scenery. Other people just like to race right through just to see what their next cheap thrill can be. And then when that's over, they want to find something else to talk about. So it's just, peer pressure is one of the hardest ones. But all in all, the point of this video is to say, do not give in to this pressure. It's hard. It sucks. And you may lose people over this, but you should never feel pressured to be a certain way that you're not, or to act a certain way, or to look a certain way. You just shouldn't feel that. And if you do feel that, it's okay. But you just have to remind yourself, none of it fucking matters. It doesn't matter. We don't have to impress anybody. We don't have to be a certain way for people. So just don't let it get to you. And just remember that it's okay to be who you are right now. You may not have everything figured out. I don't. You may not have all of this stuff figured out, but just become comfortable with who you are right now. What you look like, how you think, how you feel. Just become comfortable with that, because it is okay. Thank you for watching Puff Time. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If it didn't help, or if you want me to touch on this longer, then I can. Just feel free to ask me down below or in my inbox. But I hope this helped. And just remember, it's okay to be who you are. Because who you are, that's who you are. And you don't have to please anybody. So, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.